All right, we have an important question to answer in our analysis here. That is, which Owen is the most popular Owen in Hollywood? And so to do that, we have open Tableau. We're going to connect to data. That's the first thing I always want to do.
Wow.
Click connect to data. This happens to be a Tableau extract file, so I will find it right here, IMDb Owen. I have another video showing you how to do a Tableau prep flow to create this. But for now, we're just gonna pretend that we've already done that. So here we go. We have, much like you'd see in Excel, Tableau shows you what the data looks like, what each of the column names are, and what the data looks like in each of those columns.
Wow.
And we're just gonna go ahead and jump into the analysis here. Click on sheet 1. And the first thing I may want to know about this data set is who are all of the Owens that we are going to look at. So primary name here.
Wow.
Drag that on over to the row shelf from my dimensions. Again, these dimensions are usually text or categorical by nature. Measures are usually numerical. You can add, subtract, divide, that kind of thing. So here are all of the Owens that we are going to be looking at. And a very reasonable question could be, what movies have they been in, or written, or directed? What movies have they been a part of? And so here I have my primary title. Pull that out here. You put it on the row shelf, and now you have 2 columns, and you can see each name of the person and then which movies they have been involved in. So you kind of get a rough look at how many each person has been in. But we want to look at this in a simpler way. So we are going to count the number of titles per person. So the way you do that, so this will turn into 3, this will turn into 3, this will turn into 1. Go ahead and click this down arrow on title. Go ahead and go down to measure and say count distinct. Boom. And we're going to shift this now up to the columns section. And now we have bars showing us how many movies each of these Owens has been a part of. Now, there's a nice little trick down here. If you go down to this axis, there's a quick sort button. Click on that, and then you suddenly see Owen Wilson is at the top with 41 movies. At the bottom, we have, well, several people here with single titles. All right, so Owen is the clear winner when we look at just raw number of movies. He's at the top. But what if we want to know if people like the movies that these Owens are in? So we want to know people's ratings. Well, we have that in IMDb as well. We have average rating right here. We can pull this up and put it on the column shelf. Now, you'll notice that this is an average rating, and Tableau tells you what calculation it's doing here. It's summing all of the movies' average ratings. So when you look at Owen Wilson's sum of average ratings, 253. That doesn't make any sense because usually ratings are from 0 to 10. So we need to change the aggregation of this measure. So go ahead and click down, go to measures, and go to average. So now you're looking at the average movie score across all of the movies. So across 41 movies, Owen Wilson has an average rating of 6.183. Pretty good, but is it the best? Doesn't look like it. We're going to do our sort again. Look at that. Owen Bradley actually takes the cake here for the top. But we need to check on this. So these ratings, how many people actually rated these movies? So that's a valid question because we want to know sample size. Is the sample size big enough for us to statistically keep some of these measures here? So we have that also from IMDb, number of votes. So we'll pull that up here. Okay, and we actually want to see the number of votes per movie. So we're going to bring primary title out here just briefly, so that we see for every single movie how many votes did that movie get to give it a rating, right? So we trick here, analysis, show marked labels. So now we can see these marked labels here, and we notice Owen Bradley's film here only got 8 votes. So got a 9.1, but only 8 people. I mean, those could have all been Owen Bradley's friends. I don't know. So in order to really compare this, we're going to remove movies with ratings that have a small sample size. Okay, so Control click that copies that field, and you can drag it over here to filters. We're going to act on all values because we want to act on every single movie, not in aggregate. Okay, and we're gonna say we want at least 30 votes. I should probably do more, but 30 is a really good rule of thumb where you start to see some statistical significance in most cases. So we'll stay with 30. Okay, and then we notice that that everything with a low number of people rating it falls out. Okay, so now let's remove primary title. And now we notice Owen Barrico is at the top. Well, that's interesting, but we also may want to take and say, well, Owen Barrico only really has one movie that's rated versus Owen Wilson's, for example, 41. Right, when we sort that. 1 versus 41. So we also may want to do something about the sample size of the movies people have been involved in. Because who knows, there may be factors about this one movie. Maybe, you know, the director was super good or whatever. But we need to see several movies to see an actor's track record. So we're going to take count distinct to primary title. Again, you can hit Control or Command on a Mac to copy that on over here. We're going to filter on the count distinct, and we're going to say, let's say at least 5 movies. Okay, at least 5 movies to get a sense for how this actor is and how he performs or she performs. Click OK. All right, so now we have actors named Owen that have been in at least 5 movies, and we can see their ratings. Owen Wilson is not at the top here. Who's at the top? Okay, Owen Roizman is at the top. Also has a significant number of people voting for his movies. But there is potentially a lurking variable here, which you always want to be careful of in analysis. You want to look for your lurking variables that may throw off your analysis. And so if we're not aware of this, we may be answering the wrong question, or we're not answering the actual question we are asking, which is, who is the best actor named Owen in Hollywood? Okay, so if we pull out category here, and let's go ahead and put that on the color shelf. Well, let's make sure we're looking at all of the fields, and let's put category on the color shelf. Okay, then we notice there's actors, cinematographers, composers, editors, and writers, and Owen Roizman happens to be a cinematographer. Nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. But that's not the question that we're asking. We're asking about actors. So for this analysis, let's right click on actors right here and we'll say keep only. When we do that, it throws category onto the filter shelf. And we notice now we have 3 Owens left. And it just so happens that Owen Wilson not only has the most number of movies, he is also by a small margin the favorite of the crowd. Good on you, Owen Wilson. You win.